What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here is my review on the mid-season finale of Season 6 of the AMC series, The Walking Dead. Let's get this party started! Okay, so spoiler alert if you haven't seen this episode yet. Sorry that this is a really late upload, but this is going to be a review on the 8th episode of Season 6 of The Walking Dead, and this episode was titled Start to Finish. Now, as you all know, this episode was really intense. Lots of zombies, as you all seen in the last episode. The church tower came down and destroyed that part of the Alexandria safe zone wall, obliterated that part of the Alexandria safe zone wall, and all the walkers were coming in, and this episode started out as absolute chaos. Those zombies were coming in, and I thought it was really creepy how some of the zombies had, like, spikes rammed through their chests and everything, and how they looked really bad, and how they were sliced up and everything. And I was really scared for Maggie, because she had her gun and everything, and the zombies were all coming for her, and she was shooting all of them, and then she quickly ran, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope she doesn't die. And she was climbing up the ladder to get to the top of the stand, or the pedestal thing, the balcony thing up near the wall, and she was climbing up it, and then the ladder fell, and she was hanging on there, and she was dangling, and I was so scared. And while I was watching it, like, how you know I'm watching The Walking Dead is you'll see me tweeting on my Twitter page. Like, if you see a bunch of tweets coming out of my Twitter page that have hashtag The Walking Dead, then you know I'm watching The Walking Dead. And I was like, climb, Maggie, climb! While she was climbing up that ladder. But the ladder fell, and she was dangling there, and I was so scared, and I was like, oh no, they aren't seriously gonna kill Maggie, are they? And then, luckily, she climbed back onto the pedestal thing, and the zombies couldn't get her at all, because she was up on the balcony thing. And what I thought was gonna happen, I was hoping this was gonna happen. I keep getting mixed up between those two. I was hoping that the ghost of Beth Green was going to appear, and Maggie was gonna, like, right before she was gonna fall into the zombies, the ghost of Beth Green was gonna grab her by her wrist and pull her up, and then Maggie and Beth Green are gonna have this sad, tearful reunion, and then Beth Green is gonna fade away and disappear and tell Maggie that she has to survive and everything. That's what I thought was going to happen, well, was hoping was going to happen, but it obviously didn't happen. But it would have been cool if it did. So, after that, I found out that Glenn and Enid are still alive, and I'm really happy they're still alive, because when I saw those balloons floating up in the air at the ending of episode 7, I didn't know what was happening. I thought maybe they were all grabbed by zombies and the balloons came loose and started floating up in the air. That's what I thought at first, but they were still alive, and Enid started to lose hope because the wall was broken down, and Glenn was saying, we have to go in there, we have to save my wife. And I was worried that Enid might die at first, but I'm like highly doubtful that she will. Well, actually, to be honest with you guys, I've always been doubtful that Enid would die, because she's supposed to be like the new Sophia. They can't kill Enid. And I was really happy that she was alive, and I was really happy Glenn survived too, and I was really happy that Maggie survived too. So what ended up happening? That fight between Carl and Ron in the garage, that was intense. I was like on edge during that whole thing. I was like, no, they can't kill Carl. There's no way they could kill Carl. And then when the window broke and the zombies started getting in, and I was so pissed off at Ron, I was like, Ron, you idiot! And I even typed on Twitter, nice move, Ron, and I had hashtag The Walking Dead, and it was funny. And all the zombies were getting in. And I think Carl handled that situation really well, because Rick and Jesse, they were holding up the couch in front of the door so the zombies wouldn't get in, and Carl just took Ron into another room with the gun, and he said, give me that gun right now, and Ron gave him the gun, and he says, I know that my dad killed your dad, but your dad was an asshole, and I thought that was kind of funny. And I thought it was good that he didn't tell Rick either, because Probably because what I thought at first was the reason why he didn't tell Rick, because Rick was already stressed out with keeping those zombies out of the house and having to hold the couch and everything. That's what I thought at first. But then eventually, when I was reading the Walking Dead forums and saw the episode of The Talking Dead, I realized that the real reason why he didn't tell Rick is because he wanted to handle it by himself. That he wanted to show that he can handle it by himself and wanted to show to himself that he can handle it by himself. But I still kind of think another reason was so he wouldn't distract Rick from holding the couch so all the zombies wouldn't get in. So what ends up happening is Deanna got bitten, and when I first saw that she was bitten, I was like, well, it was only a matter of time before she was going to die, and I didn't really care at first. But after a while, while she was still alive after being bitten, and while she was spending time with all the group members and everything, and when she was up in the room by herself, and then she said that Rick was one of them, and she was saying, you helped us because you were one of us. You know, that was so sad, and I was like, oh god. And at first I didn't even really care for Deanna that much. Yeah, I felt bad for her when her husband died in the season 5 finale, but when she was saying all that, I was just like, oh no, Deanna! And I was feeling so bad for her, and I was getting really sad and everything. And I think the writers of that episode did an amazing job doing that. Like, we didn't even care about Deanna. When she was bitten, I didn't even care about Deanna. But after a while, when she was saying goodbye to everyone and spending her last moments with everyone, it just got really sad and really emotional seeing her go out like that. But, you know, she went out badass. She had that gun. She was going to shoot herself with that gun because she knew she was turning into a zombie and she was getting sick. But then she heard the zombies outside, and that was like her last fight back against the zombies. She opened the door and started firing at all of them over and over again. She used up all the bullets in the gun, and then she stood there screaming like, ah! Like, kind of like my adoptive mom whenever she had to wake me up for middle school in the morning, like that. That's what it reminded me of, and I thought it was funny. So, Deanna went out badass, and I'm glad they added that in. I'm really glad they added that in. And Deanna will never be forgotten. And it was sad seeing her die, but it was also sad seeing the Alexandria safe zone being destroyed. I always knew that place was doomed, but I didn't think I'd feel this bad that it got destroyed and everything. And all those people, we don't know what happened to them. You know, but when I start thinking like that, I just have to tell myself, Joe Winko, it's fiction, it's just a show, no one died, the girl who played Deanna is still alive, she will be on The Talking Dead after this episode, and after that stupid Into the Badlands shit, of course. And then, what really got me ticked off about this episode was the conflict between Carol and Morgan, and I hated Morgan, and I was all for Carol. I really thought that Carol was going to take out Morgan. I really thought she was going to. And I was like, you go, Carol, I know you got this. But then that Morgan idiot saying, all life is precious, I don't want anyone to die. Then why the hell did you slam Carol down on the floor and knock her unconscious then? And now, then the wolf got himself cut free. He knocked out Morgan. Now Morgan and Carol are unconscious. Then he kidnapped Denise, and now he's keeping her captive. And I was so pissed off because I really do not want Denise to die. I'm actually starting to like Denise, and I didn't want her to die at all. But now he's keeping Denise captive, and, you know, part of me thinks that she might live, that Tara, Rosita, and Eugene will be able to save her from the wolf. I really think they can, because the wolf only took one gun. If Tara or Rosita or Eugene, most likely it'll be Tara or Rosita or Eugene if they want to surprise us, runs over, takes a gun, takes a machete, and blasts around through the wolf's head, they'll have enough time to grab Denise, pull her back into the building, lock the door before any of the zombies get in, because zombies are slow and stupid. They won't be able to get them at all. And I really hope that Morgan ends up dying. Another possibility that might happen is Morgan and Carol will wake up. Carol will be pissed off at Morgan for what he did. They'll go and try to save Denise, but then the wolf will end up killing Morgan, or Morgan will end up dying and it'll be all his fault. I just really hope that Denise doesn't die. I don't think she deserves to die. I want to see more of her character. I want to see more of her relationship development between her and Tara, because all they did so far was just kiss each other. And also, at the ending, when Rick, Michonne, Father Gabriel, Carl, Ron, and Sam and Jesse, when they covered themselves with all the walker guts, and when they were walking outside, and walking outside the house and holding hands and everything, I got really pissed off at Sam for saying, "Mom, Mom," because I don't think he's gonna tell his mom anything important. I think Sam's just being stupid, saying "Mom" because he's a wimp and because he's scared. I think Sam's gonna end up getting them in deep trouble. The only ones I think who will die from that, because the zombies are eventually gonna find out that they're not really zombies, and the zombies are gonna start attacking the group. But I think the only ones who are really gonna die from that is Sam and Father Gabriel. I think Michonne will be safe. I hope so. I do not want Michonne to die, because recently in the season I've been thinking that she might die, especially in episode 3 when all the zombies were grabbing her when she was trying to climb over the fence. But I'm like, that's crazy. They can't kill Michonne. She's a warrior, and she's one of the most badass characters on The Walking Dead. There's no way they can take out Michonne. No way. Father Gabriel, definitely. I don't know why they kept him alive for so long. I think he's eventually gonna pull some stupid scheme or some stupid trick and end up getting the group in trouble. Sam, I think he's gonna die. Ron, definitely gonna die eventually. I hope he does. Carl, I don't think he's gonna die. Rick, I'm not even gonna go there. They're not gonna kill Rick. And I really hope that Jessie doesn't die, or I hope Jessie doesn't get her arm cut off or anything, because that's what I remember hearing, that she might get her arm cut off. Not from anyone official of The Walking Dead, but from some of the YouTube followers who are watching the videos. I hope they don't harm Jessie, or I hope Jessie doesn't die at all, because they can't have Jessie die at all, because that's the whole reason why, she was the whole reason why Pete died in the Season 5 finale. They can't just kill her off like this. Maybe she might make it to Season 7, probably, but I hope she doesn't die. I really hope Jessie does not die. They better not kill her. So, yeah, that was my opinion, and that was my review on Episode 8 of Season 6 of the AMC series, The Walking Dead. Please comment and share your thoughts. What stood out to you about this episode? Did you agree with everything I was saying? Please let me know in the comment section. I haven't had time to post this video earlier because I've been busy filming my series, The Rising Dead, which is actually on my main channel, so please go and check that out, I beg you. It's a zombie series that I myself made with The Sims 2. No, seriously, I made it myself with The Sims 2. I did all the voices too, so yeah, you'll know right away that I made it myself. So please comment on that and tell me what you think of it. And please comment on this video and tell me what you think of it. And don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on Tumblr. And that's it. So, peace out, people.